Hello, my name is Paul. I'm a gay man. I've been asked to record this tale from my youth as a reminder of the importance of confidentiality in respect of medical data. Back in 1988, and being a young gay man, I had an active sex life. It was, of course, the start of the AIDS epidemic in the UK. Testing had become available at the time. STD clinics were being overwhelmed by the worried well. To rectify this, the government of the day told everyone to go to their local GPs, who would then decide whether they really needed a test or not, or whether they were just the worried well, and refer them on. I'd had unprotected sex, and I needed to be tested. I went to my GP, who agreed with me. I got tested. I was negative, if you're interested. Not long after that, I decided to buy a flat with a friend. At that time, endowment mortgages were all the rage, and we were persuaded to take these out. Endowment mortgages required that you divulge health records. At the time, AIDS was seen as being a terminal condition. It became apparent that mortgages were being turned down if you'd had anything on your medical records that indicated an active sex life, and also that being gay put you into that category regardless of how much sex you actually had. So, having filled out the application form for the mortgage, I realised that if my GP had recorded that I was referred to an STD clinic for an HIV test, this would be picked up by the mortgage company and my application would be turned down. Moreover, it would be unlikely that I would be able to apply to other mortgage companies. I went to see my GP, a portly, middle-aged man in a three-piece suit wearing half-moon glasses. Not the sort of person you would look at and think, yes, they support gay rights. He looked on the then paper records and indeed he had recorded that I'd been referred to the clinic. He took out the card and tore it up in front of me. I was greatly relieved. What he did was probably against the rules, and we would have been perfectly within his rights to refuse to destroy the entry. The mortgage went through, we got the flat, and thankfully I am still HIV negative. If I may go on, it might seem as if the world in general progresses to becoming more and more liberal. This is not the case. In the UK at the time, we experienced Section 28, which was a law specifically banning education about homosexuality. This was a retrograde step. In Russia, a very similar law was passed in 2013 by Vladimir Putin. Homosexuals being liberated after the collapse of the Soviet Union. In both cases, there was a notable rise in homophobia and homophobic assaults, obviously spurred on by the perceived legitimacy from governments. Back in the 1930s, European society was generally very sexually liberal. This all changed under Nazi Germany and the countries they occupied, where gays were interred in concentration camps along with Jews. The Nazis used evidence of someone's homosexuality from memberships of societies, clubs, confessions, and medical records. The overall trend, as you can appreciate, is progressive, but we can't take that for granted.